Got no fucking idea. Nothing like going back and putting that hoodie on. That's how bad it is. Holy fuck. Oh shit. Winter Wonderland. We're in the Winter Wonderland again. Oh man. I got just enough cash to wash the clothes and dry them, but I might waste my money. I might be wasting my money because I don't think those boiler suits are any good. God damn, that's cold. Focus, you stupid. Oh, you're so fucking stupid. I gotta add it to my collection. I have to add that to my collection, guys. I gotta put it in my, what you call it, in my, I gotta think of the word here for a minute. Ah, shit, it's cold. Bring 2 winter coats. God damn. Very creative. I like that. I like to collect these couples and stuff for my damn, it's fucking cold. For my I have to put them in my collection of what you call it? I forgot the name. Where you have like a job to work. I forgot. God damn it. Oh shit, it's cold. My hands are frozen. I can't say that enough, man. I can't say that enough, you know. I was hoping for a smooth move to summer, you know. Not around here, man. I think there's like a local freezer over London. Oh shit, it's cold. I fucking hate it. Another hour perhaps before. About another hour before Channel May, 2 hours. Oh, shit. It's windy too, it's not just cold, it's windy. The wind is always fucking blowing around here. Put it in my collection. Bring a winter coat. Look at that snow cloud up there. We're gonna get a late winter storm, maybe perhaps. I don't know. Fuck, around here, anything is possible. We're gonna get like a late winter storm. So they're saying that, yeah, man, you know, some brown people are also reached as negative. Some Asian folks are reached as negative. Yeah, man, but it's only like 1%. You're not going to find more than 1% of the population in a billion people. Maybe 1% out of a billion, maybe 1% out of 500 million will be rhesus negative, and they are going to be rhesus negative by accident. We're definitely going to find some because they're all Prussian. But they're all Prussian. They're all partly Scandinavian as well. That's what it means. No, that's what it means to be rhesus negative, Scandinavian. Understand? It used to be anyway, Scandinavian. But you will definitely find, out of 500 million or a billion, you will find 1% or so, which is a few individuals. Maybe 100, maybe 200 that are rhesus negative because they're Prussian. They have this Prussian admixture, which is European, and you will find some rhesus negative folks, but it's only 1%. Understand? But like I said, the highest percentage of rhesus negative people are European, which is why there's a framing program, which is why there's mass immigration to Europe, which is why they're talking about anti-racism, which is why they're talking about white males being toxic and stuff like that. Understand? The highest incidence of the highest number of rhesus negative people will be European, which is why this is all happening. It's the battle of the millennia. Understand? It's the battle of the millennia. Like I said, there's nobody on the planet, despite what they say about colonialism and imperialism, that had as many enemies as white people did. Understand? But, it's fucking 4 empires that invaded Europe. It's a lot. Yeah, 4 empires invaded Europe. We're not going to find any other people on the planet that had as many enemies as white people did. Yeah, understand? And that's, like I said, it's the battle of the millennia. So it's what it's all about. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying that brown people or black people are evil and they want to destroy white people. Like I said, their power comes from this parasitical Five Eyes that gives them power. Yeah, they came in here because they were invited. They came here and they are part of the framing program, and they count against me because someone made it so from the Five Eyes. I'm not saying that somehow other races are evil and they want to destroy white people. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that they're being used by someone within the Five Eyes to target white people and to be part of this framing program and to count as counters. To count as counters against white people. That's all I'm saying. Understand? That's all I'm saying. If you look at the situation, it's pretty obvious that you have within the Five Eyes you have a management problem targeting white males, which is why you're down to 1 or 2 if you count my brother. And that's obviously not very good for being European. If you're down to 2 white males, that's not very good for being European. Understand? And most of these people. Most of the people in those gifts are not European. They're mixed, heavily mixed. Yeah, they're. If you look at California and New York, if you look at London itself, it's a mostly European mixture now. Whereas in the past, it used to be European, right? They're becoming more and more brown, less and less European over time. Gotta take a crap as well, if I have time. It is freezing, goddamn. Like I said before, this delusional albino clique is under the impression, and even this fool with the bag is under the impression, that 50 years from now, there'll still be albino. Your ass is going to be gone in 50 years. And anybody that's part of this bag clique will be black or Asian, exclusively. And by the time that happens, you will prove me right. Understand? It doesn't matter what kind of bag you have, eventually, because there's this onslaught of democracy and voting and equality, your albino ass will be gone. Understand? In the face of 8 billion brown people that are invited over here, and black people, which is approaching over 1 billion right now, approaching over 1 billion of African people in Africa, your ass will be finished and gone in 50 years, and you will prove me right anyway. Understand? That's the point of equality and democracy. They come over here, they have an equal seat at the table with you in your back leg, and your ass will be gone in 50 years regardless. Regardless. And by the time that happens, I will be right anyway. Oh, it's cold. Very cold. But anyway, it's definitely cold out here. It feels like a winter storm is coming from us. Oh, my hands are frozen. My hands are fucking frozen. freaking land. God damn it. I hate it, man. It's supposed to be nice in the long run. Got a boot failure. Cell broadcast service. That's where it stopped. So I'm not entirely sure why. Just turned off right when it got the cell broadcast service. It was holding battery as well, not too bad. So it restarts what happens. But yeah, it's we're running the service calls differently now. So I'm not sure. Could be that I suspended BCK time service or SDK stuff. I suspended some stuff. Tried. I think I might have put it in. I don't know. I might have put that in. But I'm not sure. Yeah, we got a boot failure. Oh, yeah, there's nothing on it, luckily. Besides the script I was working on, there's not much on it. It might not actually restart on its own. I'll have to wait and see. See, it's hanging. It doesn't boot, it just hangs. We'll see if it restarts. It should on its own. It should restart on its own. But yeah, I'm not sure what caused it. I'm not entirely sure. Who knows? Icebox did not have anything in there. I took it out because it shut off. It shut off last night, and I took all the icebox stuff off before it shut off because it was overheating. I'm not sure. So it should have restarted. There, this will restart, so we can erase that data and get the stuff, get the script off of it. I want the script off of it because I was working on it and I was moving stuff around, trying to perfect it, trying to improve it, and I need to get the script off. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Anyway, we got to get going here. People with the box, I'm not getting crap. I don't have time. go to Notre Dame and get some chow meis. Yeah, my hair is full of this yellow fucking grease. Just pulled, washed out more of it. There's no water. Oh, it's fucking cold. Yeah, it's colder right now. I figured out why this phone didn't start. It's more or less the same script. I don't know if I suspended the SDK and time sync. I didn't really do I think 41 minutes under it. The service calls 42, 71, 72 that I'm using now. It's only for 13. They don't actually work on 11. A lot of them don't work. You gotta use 24, 25, 9, 11. 33 works on 11. These don't really work for 11. Then again, the problem is not on 11. The problem is on 13. So 42, 71, 70, 72. That's why I made that, because it's 13 problem specific. Oh, it's fucking cold out here. I've got my compadres. My compadres are lining up for the chow meis. Oh, fuck. I'm going to work out every day. Walking from place to place like this. My fucking feet hurt. We got Mr. Moog over here. He says he's been around for 1,000 years as well. He's an old timer, you know, very British. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, we're racing out there now. I don't know what the hell did I live in? Did I suspend the stuff? I don't think I did. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. They're going to have the good stuff today. A nice hot meal for the coronation. A nice hot beefy meal. Have a nice beef meal today. Man. I know we fuck those sandwiches, man. Huh? British summertime says. I don't know about summer, but maybe winter solstice. It's the winter solstice. Maybe the winter solstice time. You know? It's kind of cold out here.
We make us feel like
This is kind of annoying.
But what am I now? And what am I now? Or what if I'm so I don't want around? I'm falling again, I'm falling again, I'm falling. But what if I'm down? And what if I'm out? Or what if I'm so you won't talk about? I'm falling again, I'm falling again, I'm falling. Simply good, and listen to me. And I'm not in there, I don't feel them talking about me. It's a coffee down. It's a beach cafe. And it kills me because I don't give a lot of things you can say. But what am I now? Or what am I now? Or what am I so I don't want now? I'm falling again, I'm falling again, I'm falling. But what if I'm now? Or what if I'm out? But what if I'm someone you won't talk about? I'm falling again, I'm falling again, I'm falling. I need a feeling you'll never leave me. What am I now? What am I now? What if I'm someone I don't want now? I'm falling again. Over if you ever come around, my finger was fading.
Hello, how are you doing?
Very good.
What? Movie next week. There's a movie next week at 3 p.m.
Okay, yeah.
No, you don't like that so much.
That's fine. I mean, they're old movies.
Okay.
I mean, I watch movies, but only the new ones.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's
Yeah, then we give you shoes. Get some shoes.
Very good. Very good. I'm looking for something like a tennis shoe, like a running shoe.
That's in the shoes that I'm getting.
Let's get you guys have them. Yeah, it's very nice.
This is what you want.
Oh, very good. Can I get yeah, how much you like? Yeah. Thanks. Can I get one mushroom soup and one tomato soup? Can I get 2 black teas with 4 sugars each? That's okay. I'm all right. Very good. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Very good. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
So this is the one what the shoes
Actually, I just need to add a little bit of juice. Yeah, it's flexing a little bit. Yeah, I can throw that away actually. It's flexing a little bit. Huh? Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. Not bad soup today. I don't know about the tomato soup. It's not that good. Yeah, it's a little bit bit, it's good. It's not bad. It's good, I was thirsty. Very good. Molto bene. I like to say molto bene. So, one thing to consider with non-whites in general is that they, they'll say, oh, the Moog family goes back to 1,000 years to the Reformation, and it's and it's something something of value. Oh, it goes back to the Reformation, and this and that. It has value. Now, remember too that the only thing that they've been talking about is white privilege and white supremacy and colonialism and imperialism. And this guy is telling us that his family, the Moog family, is, by the way, that's also Hitler. They seem to have a relation to Hitler, the Moog. One thing that they tell you, he says this, you heard him say it, oh yeah, it goes back to this and that, and the only thing that we heard from them, some of them, most of them, is something about white privilege and white supremacy and colonialism and imperialism. So, and he can say that. He can say, oh, we go back to the Reformation, but they've been talking to us about white privilege and white supremacy. And they've been telling us about colonialism and imperialism. And he's like, yeah, we go back to the Reformation, to the House of Commons in the 1200s or something, 1300s, I don't know. And you see, they tell us about white privilege and white supremacy and colonialism and imperialism. And this guy is talking about his family going back to the Reformation like it's some kind of privilege. You understand? Now he's talking about this like it's some kind of privilege, even though they talk about white privilege and white supremacy and the negative white in Europe. They have has negative connotations in Europe, in North America especially. And he's like, yeah, going back to the Reformation. Now here's the interesting, here's a disadvantage that non-whites have. It's of little value in the non-white world how old your family is, because you have no nobility. Understand? Meaning that you could have, should have, tried to be of noble blood, which is what Europeans have. They, on the other hand, lack this. People like Moog, they lack this nobility of the blood. So you can go back as far as you want to go back. You're still ignoble in some kind of way. You're saying you're European. You're saying you're European, but you don't have any nobility of the blood, which is what this is all about. Yeah? So it doesn't matter if you go back as far as you go back. You're still ignoble in a way, unworthy of it in a way.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
You're going to jump in the queue. You know, they want to do it on coronation, the palm straight down, you have to be in the pouches. What you get? What did you buy? You know, they voucher for coronation. Because the coronation was closed. Right, so now, yes,
I've got another good feeling inside. It's starting. The screen's blank. Yeah, blank slate. Black coffee, 3 sugars.
Sorry?
Black coffee, 3 sugars?
3 sugars, white coffee.
Yeah, so it's starting, but it's blank again. I don't know why. Let's reset it. Oh, that's all. I don't know if I wish it.
Right, so you find you.
No, I know. No, I understand.
Zaman ini dia, ini kita bagian zaman ini zaman ada ini dia, ini kami ini go bagian dia. Dari sama lah dekat sama dia. Sama dekat sama dia.
Some of those. There's some pork in there, there's some chicken.
Leg or wing?
Don't say that.
Adios.
That's alright, that's alright.
Really? Come on, you will come. Yeah, no. Right side.
Sorry, I haven't made sufficient.
There you go.
Okay.
Termina ahí. La careta.
Okay. Good. Oh, good.
I'm gonna go press Richard to like I said, it's very clear from the stance that this parasite took on native white people. That they were preparing for this showdown over Europe and over West European for a long, long time. And because I don't know what to do. You got sauce. Oh, hi.
What's the cost of that?
Can I get some white coffee with 3 sugars? Do you guys have any sauce?
Yes, this person can help you with salt.
Chicken bowl.
I'll have the grilled chicken. Thanks. That's okay, it's okay.
Crisps, chocolate bars.
I'll have some green crisps.
Everything in a little bag. And some cheese, like pastry.
Chocolate wafer. I got plenty. Thanks, I really appreciate it. That's okay, I got plenty. Thanks. Can I get some? Can I get some sugar to go?
Yeah, why not?
Very good. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Take care.
I gotta go press a bridge. We got sauce. I said, we got a little bit of X-Lax and the donuts yesterday, Friday. So, like I said, the idea was to spread non-whites, like what they say are native brown people in New Zealand and Australia. And you even have a situation which is very strange with the Native Americans in America. And according to this guy, white people are not native to anything. Remember the out of Africa theory that they came up with, that every evolutionary biologist and anthropologist has been spreading this lie of out of Africa. And the reason why is because none of these folks, there is a conspiracy to make everybody racist positive and African. You understand? So somebody some time ago spread these brown people to places like New Zealand and Australia. And there's, like I said, the situation with the Native Americans in America is very, 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 very strange, to say the least. They said that they came across the Bering Strait and it was frozen. Some kind of fucking Valhalla fucking ice bridge. Some kind of Valhalla ice bridge brought the Native Americans to America. You understand? So, like I said, this motherfucker has been taking his time driving Europeans into extinction pretty much around the world. And to make sure that whites couldn't be native to any continent in the world, to make sure that whites couldn't be native to any continent in the world, he went around and spread some brown people. He went around and spread some brown people that looks like they've definitely been brought over there, like in New Zealand and Australia, and even with the Native Americans and their fucking ice bridge. Their Bifrost ice bridge from Asia to Alaska. Bifrost ice bridge, guys. Below 100 degrees Celsius, 50, below 50 back then, below 50 back then on their Valhalla ice bridge, Rainbow Bridge. They came from Asia, apparently, and lived in North America or something. This guy's phenomenal, man. I keep in mind, back then you would have very primitive means of transport. Right? You can forget about traveling thousands of miles in a frozen wasteland, or crossing 1,000 miles on a fucking ice bridge. Some kind of Bifrost Valhalla fucking ice bridge that they keep talking about. So, like I said, it's the reason why they have this affinity. They have this affinity for brown people on these continents everywhere. It's the reason for the out of Africa theory. You understand? It's the reason why none of them are racist negative. Yeah, and why Europeans can be native to any continent because of out of Africa. Yeah, you can't be native to any continent because of out of Africa. You understand? So, it's definitely been a conspiracy that's been around for a while. You can definitely tell. From the very elaborate Marxist ideas that they've been spreading out of Africa. Native Americans going across the fucking ice bridge thousands of years ago, like a Bifrost ice bridge, from fucking Asgard to Valhalla or something. It would have been negative 50, negative 60 degrees Celsius. You would have fucking frozen in 10 minutes, being well dressed. And you also notice that they got these Asian folks, these Eskimos, which is also dead, by the way. They got these Eskimo Asian folks living in the fucking frozen tundra, guy. You understand? They live over there in Siberia or some shit, I don't know. South Pole, North Pole, something. And they got these folks, they can live anywhere else. Fucking go to Southeast Asia, it's a paradise. You fit right in, nobody would even notice that you're Eskimo, whatever the hell you are. But that's the reason why they got these Eskimo people living in fucking Alaska, not Alaska, the Siberia and the North Pole or the South Pole. They have these, what they say, are Eskimo people that live in these frozen wastelands. Understand? Because, i.e., you get the Native Americans going across the fucking ice bridge, some shit like that. Understand? So, like I said, it's a very elaborate way of saying, white people are not native to any continent. Out of Africa all the way. And that's the reason why they got these Eskimos and Asian Eskimo people living in these remote frozen areas. Understand? They can live anywhere else in Asia. It's pretty good. It's pretty good over there. You fit right in. Nobody will even notice that you're Eskimo. And it's much better than living in a frozen fucking wasteland in the fucking tundra or South Pole or North Pole. But they got those people in there so they can say, oh yeah, Native Americans. They went to North America on the frozen ice bridge. See, this guy is crazy, man. I mean, it's definitely an elaborate scheme. A lot of thought went into it. I can see that much. Definitely a lot of thought went into it. Now, you gotta ask yourself, why did this crew settle on this island? It's the most western part of Europe, that's why. Why is it that the battle has been so intense in mainland Europe, but they kind of settled on this island? It's easy to defend as well. Yeah, because any invasion will come from Asia, so mainland Europe will go through all the suffering and spare the island. Understand? They kind of settled on this island because it's the most western part of Europe. Yeah, surviving monarchy over here as well. Granted, the monarchy says it's parliament says it's monarchy, and vice versa. Hollywood says it's parliament, Hollywood says it's the monarchy. But why is it why the obsession over this island? It's such shitty weather anyway. It's the most western part. That's the reason why. Yeah, militarily speaking, considering all the catastrophes that mainland Europe went through, this is relatively easy. It's easier on this island than mainland Europe, considering all the wars that happened and invasions that happened in mainland Europe. It's the most western part, easy to defend. Any invasion would have to go through mainland Europe first. That's why they kind of settled on this. Militarily speaking, it's a great, from a military standpoint, it should be the easiest to defend. It hasn't been invaded once since the Roman Empire did it. It hasn't been invaded, has it? Yeah, it hasn't been invaded since the Roman Empire. Yeah, Genghis Khan, he stopped. They say he stopped in Hungary and something like that, Romania, Poland, something like that. Maybe the Netherlands. I don't know. But like I said, militarily speaking, this is the easiest to defend because it's the most western part, and it's isolated by water, ocean. That's why they kind of settled on the south. Understand? And there hasn't been an invasion here since the Roman Empire. There hasn't been an invasion here since the Roman Empire. Not that I know of. So the Native American interest in North America, I think, comes from what the Vikings did, landing in North America. That is present-day Canada and New York. And he's like, oh, the Vikings went there? Well, maybe we can say the Native Americans went there first. But wait a minute. We'll just say that they went there first on a fucking Bifrost Bridge. Fucking Eric the Red went there. Fuck that guy. We'll just say that our Native American folk were first on a fucking ice bridge. Or Bifrost, maybe a Bifrost Bridge. Oh, excellent, excellent. See, it's that, oh, I'm first everywhere now. White people are not first anywhere because out of Africa. You gotta come from Africa. So it can't be first anywhere because of that. And even if you are the first to land in North America, it can do you one better. They can do you one better with some Native Americans on a fucking ice bridge. They can do you one better, guys. With some Native Americans on a fucking ice bridge. Fuck Eric the Red. They can do you one better with some Native Americans on a fucking ice bridge. Yeah. Come on, guys. Oh. I keep in mind, there's no Native Americans that would have done what they did in the Grand Canyon. That shit is an incredible terraforming. What they got going on in the Grand Canyon is an incredible terraforming mission. Incredible what they did. I don't think the Native Americans did any of it. Anyway.
Station stop for British Transport Police for 61016 Winslow. See it, say it, so.
Yeah.
The train has 20 Woking via Weybridge. Wimbledon, Surbiton, Esher, Persham, Walton-on-Thames, Weybridge, Windley and Newport, West Windley and Woking. This train has 12 carriages. Some stations have 10 carriages per train. Can you see something that will remain?
Still going?
016.
We're coming up on what secret? Filthy. Oh. I'm still going, right? Oh, wait, no, almost done now. When you put that book, I was up with you. Yeah. Who's found a t-shirt Can you get
for the 1422 South Western Railway service to Windsor and Eton Riverside. Calling at Vauxhall, Clapham Junction, Portsmouth Town, Putney, Barnes Bridge, Chiswick, Kew Bridge, Brentford, Sion Lane, Isleworth, Hounslow, Burton, Ashford, Surrey, Staines, Wraysbury, Sunnymeads, Datchet, and Windsor and Eton Riverside. This train has 10 carriages. Some stations have short platforms. If you are travelling to Sion Lane, Hounslow, or Wraysbury, you will need to travel in the front 8 carriages of the train. If you are travelling to Isleworth, Sunnymeads, or Datchet, you will need to travel in the front 7 carriages of the train.
Trains will depart today at around 1700. Please make sure you check your last train times to ensure you don't get stranded. If you are intending to travel tomorrow, please check your entire journey as it may be affected by engineering works. We are sorry for the disruption. For more information, visit southwesternrailway.com/strike.
This is your Transport for London travel information. There is a planned closure on the Waterloo and City line. There are part closures on the Central line and London Overground and Travelling. There are minor delays on the Circle, Hammersmith City and Metropolitan lines. There is currently a good service operating on all other lines. The train has traveled 11 the 1430 South Western Railway service to Basingstoke, calling at Woking and Basingstoke. train has 10 carriages. Platform 8 for the 1435 South Western Railway service to Woking via Weybridge. Calling at Clapham Junction, Wimbledon, Surbiton, Esher, Persham, Bolton-on-Thames, Weybridge, Byfleet and Newport, West Byfleet and Woking. This train has 12 carriages. Some stations have short platforms. If you are travelling to Clapham Junction or Wimbledon, you will need to travel in the front 10 carriages of the train. Platform 17 for the 1437 South Western Railway service to Windsor and Eton Riverside. Calling at Vauxhall, Clapham Junction, Wandsworth Town, Putney, Barnes, Mortlake, Northfield, Richmond, St Margaret, Newton, Witton, Felton, Ashford, Surrey, Staines, Wraysbury, Sunnymeads, Datchet, and Windsor and Eton Riverside. This train has 10 carriages. Some stations have short platforms. If you are travelling to Wraysbury, you will need to travel in the front 8 carriages of the train. If you are travelling to Sunnymeads or Datchet, you will need to travel in the front 7 carriages of the train. The train has platform 8 is the 1435 South Western Railway service to Woking via Weybridge. Calling at Clapham Junction, Surbiton, Esher, Persham, Bolton-on-Thames, Weybridge, Byfleet and Newport, West Byfleet and Woking. This train has 12 carriages. Some stations have short platforms. If you are travelling to Clapham Junction or Wimbledon, you will need to travel in the front 10 carriages of the train. It is not
And so apparently I was suspending Wi-Fi resources. Yeah, I was suspending Wi-Fi resources or mainline telemetry or main components. And it was working, yeah? It was booting. Well, we just reset the fucking thing, and it doesn't work anymore. We cannot suspend Wi-Fi resources or mainline components. Not anymore. So the rules on this thing will change. You can scan for Wi-Fi, you cannot scan. You can suspend Wi-Fi resources, you cannot suspend it, who knows? You can suspend mainline components, or you can't. So the rules on this fake firmware will change. Okay? On the fly, pretty much. On the fly. Whatever the fuck they've been flashing to it. Whatever the hell they've been flashing to it. It just kind of has a mind of its own. Yeah, I feel much better now. So that's what you notice. Now, what you notice too is that they have the ice bridge story with the Native Americans. However, they don't have any story of these people flying places. You see it with the ancient Egyptians, Horus, the guy who can fly. You see it with the Aztecs, and maybe the you see it with some of the South American civilizations. They all believed in gods that can fly. So they came up with an ice bridge, but no story of flying. But they all have stories of flying gods. Now, if they all have stories of flying gods, why the ice bridge? You can just fucking fly there, right? I mean, we believe in gods that can fly. The Egyptians, the Aztecs, the Maya, the Mestizo, Amerindian, previously European as well. See, they all believed in gods that can fly. When it came to the Native Americans ending up in North America, they said it was an ice bridge. Why? I mean, you can just fly there, man. Get your god to bring you over there. Why the ice bridge? Well, that has a lot to do with the Vikings. I said, if the Vikings got there, and they got there, frankly, they were, they got there, they got there, and it became known that they got there. Well, then it has to be an ice bridge. See? And it has to be an ice bridge because the Vikings got there. Understand? Now, like I said, they all believe in gods that can fly. The Aztecs, the Maya, the Egyptians, all of them built pyramids. They have pyramids in China too. And they all believe in gods that can fly. So why the ice bridge with the Native Americans? Fuck the ice bridge, man. I want to fly there. I don't want to walk on an ice bridge for thousands of miles. It looks cold. It's inconvenient. I want to fly instead. It's much better. Because they can do that apparently. They believe in gods that can fly. But the ice bridge is, the ice bridge story is because of the Vikings. Yeah? And they associated an ice bridge with the Native Americans instead of the Vikings. Yeah, come on, guys. You see it, I mean, the Prometheus, in my opinion, the Prometheus movies from Ridley Scott are eye-opening for anybody that's been dealing with this problem. The aliens that are hominids, the engineers that are human, and in Prometheus in 2012, they had all these ancient civilizations looking up to the sky with the engineers, looking up to a constellation in the sky. It happened to be LV-220 fucking something, 224 or something, was the home of the engineers. And the alien is the hominid. Skinny, 4 foot alien looking thing. So you see, it's I mean, like I said, the Prometheus stuff is, again, with these the Aztecs, the Maya, and the ancient Egyptians all believing in gods that can fly. I.e. Prometheus, hominid versus European, etc., right? So, it's that's the reason why, that's the reason why they had to come up with the ice bridge for the Native Americans. If the Vikings got there, and they might have been first, even before the Native Americans, or any kind of European got there before the Native Americans, again, you have to consider who the hell terraformed the Grand Canyon. I mean, it's got lots of carvings that are very interesting, and that happened over there. Obviously, it happened before the Native Americans, because the Grand Canyon hasn't been disturbed in thousands of years, right? So, again, why? Why the? But again, it's a pissing match. White people can't be anywhere because you're from Africa. You can't be native anywhere because you're from Africa. And this guy is everywhere first. This guy is everywhere first with his diversity league. Native Americans, ice bridge, from fucking the Bifrost Valhalla, Asgard. You see? So it's like I said, it's a conspiracy. It's a grand conspiracy. That's what it is. That's what you're dealing with right now if you're white. It's a way to make rhesus positive in African and Asian DNA, native to everything, native to every continent. And if you're European, you're not native to anything because you're from Africa. Understand? Now it's a contradiction as well, right? Because if everybody's from Africa, it means that white people are native to Africa as well. Right? I mean, that's what you're saying. I mean, if you're saying that we're from Africa and all of us are basically African, then why aren't white people native to Africa? Because it didn't happen, idiot. Yeah, that's why there was no people there before the 1800s, before the 1600s, before South Africa. There was no white people in Africa. Yeah, because they're not native to Africa. Yeah, we didn't have any before in there. And I know, thousands of years. We have Mesopotamia and Egypt and stuff like that. That was thousands of years ago, but after that, you didn't have any white people in there. Yeah, you had the Persian Empire, you had the Ottoman Empire. You had the... It's open. So you see, white people are not native to anything, but they're also from Africa. Now, with the exception of ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, and maybe some other parts of Africa, thousands of years ago, it was white. And then you had the Persian Empire that wasn't white, and then you had the Ottoman Empire, and you had Genghis Khan, and you had the collapse of ancient Egypt, and so on and so forth. All on at the expense of white people. The collapse of ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, etc., all happened at the expense of white people. Some white people lost out. Yeah? So white people are not native to anything, but they're also from Africa. What the fuck you say, man? What did you say to me? What did you say to me? What did you say to me, man? Yeah, you're not making any sense right now, man. You're not making any sense to me, man. You're a crazy person, man. That's all I can tell you, man. You're just a crazy person. White people are not native from Africa, but they're also African. You're fucking insane, son. Yeah, you take the cake. You take the cake when it comes to insanity. White people are not native to anything, but they're also from Africa. Listen to yourself. Man. Listen to yourself when you speak. You sound like a crazy motherfucker, man. You sound like a crazy bastard, man. You really are a crazy bastard. White people are not native to anything, but they're also from Africa. Listen to yourself, man. Listen to yourself. Where the fuck did you come from, guy? Huh? I'm getting a big workout over here, man. Yeah, definitely got to work. I worried about walking around. Walking around here, definitely get a workout.
money.
I got an entire soundstage out there. Look.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for your time, for your attention. It means a lot to me. I can't treat every day. This is the reason I do it. Like, so thank you so much. And I'm going to play the last song. Hopefully. Thank you so much.
Wow. 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 Oh, what workout. Let's go with this. Also, what you notice too is that you're pretty much denied entry anywhere, pretty much within the Five Eyes, because they stole a bag, or some kind of a messianic trickery where they got room for albinos but they don't have room for white people, and that's the reason why. It's the reason why they concentrated so much over Europe since 9/11. Especially, they concentrated their efforts over Europe. Like I said, America already had African Americans from the beginning. It had Jews from the beginning as a result. And their efforts after 9/11 were mostly concentrated over Europe after 9/11. And if you notice, they're pretty much denied entry anywhere in Europe because they stole a bag. And lo and behold, white people are not native to anything, but they're from Africa as well. Yeah, white people are not native to anything, but they're also from Africa. So if you notice, the bag is the same story that they've been telling us. You're not native to anything, but you're from Africa as well. And white people are, because you're not native to anything, you still are afforded, according to this clique, you're still afforded the status of out of Africa. So you're not native to anything, but you're still afforded the status of out of Africa. So you see, it's a way of appropriating, and ultimately denying even the existence of white people on the basis that everybody's African. Everybody's African, therefore we can deny the existence of actual white people. We can also deny entry to any white people if we steal a bag. Understand? So it's I drank some poison. That's some nice tea in front of the station. That shit was full like fish. It wasn't too bad. It's gonna go away in about an hour. We got a nice pair of socks. But like I said, the reason why they steal a bag, and apparently according to them, they can steal the same equal bag from any immigrant or non-white. The reason why they steal a bag is because if you are white, you are, as a result of your existence, you are entitled, which is why they talk about white supremacy and white privilege. You are entitled to have unlimited access to these countries, which is why they stole the bag. You understand? They'd be like, oh, white privilege, white supremacy, and yeah, it looks like we can get the same equal bag from an immigrant or non-white, which is obviously not the case. And if you're white, the reason why they steal the bag is to deny you entry, to deny you access to these countries. And according to these folks, they can score an equal bag from an immigrant or non-white, any non-white. Now, like I said before, obviously if you're white, it gives you the right and the entitlement to have unlimited access to these countries that are white, which is why they talk about white privilege and white supremacy. So, like I said, I think this clique is quite the insane clique, quite the insane groupie clique. Yeah, it is obviously the reason why they stole the bag to deny you access. You understand? They stole the bag to deny you access. And the reason why they talk about white privilege and white supremacy is because if you're white, you're supposed to have unlimited access to these countries. But they stole the bag to deny you access, to deny me access, right? See, I'm like, white privilege and white supremacy, but we can score an equal back from an immigrant already not white. And again, they stole the bag to deny me access.
Yeah, he's an engineer.
Right? They stole the bag to deny me access. And in my opinion, if you're white, and this is how it should be, if you're white, you should have unlimited access to these countries. Which is why they talk about white privilege and white supremacy. See? Ah, come on. Come on, man. This guy's full of tricks. I mean, he's a wizard. Of course he is. I mean, I know he's a wizard. He's a wizard. He's a wise one. Yeah. This guy's a Hogwarts graduate with honors, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a Hogwarts graduate with honors. Yeah. Churchill was having some fun. He's having some fun on the sidewalk, you know? Good enough food. It's enough access until 4 p.m. tomorrow. I feel like being a hero. I think we're done walking for today. Guys. It's been truly exhausting, the past 2 days. Too much walking. My nose is running. God, I am seeing jumping activity today, even though the station was empty. I'm seeing the jumping activity today. Seeing jumping activity today, later in the afternoon. There's nothing at the station to suggest anything, but I see a jump around here. A sudden one as well. My feet are burning when I'm walking. I'm walking on foot. The fucking shoes are full of shit now, so it was bad enough. Now it's worse. Well, it definitely got warmer a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely tolerable now. But in the morning it was fucking freezing. In the morning it was goddamn fucking freezing, guys. Couldn't believe it. Wow. That one is full of shit. I mean, it's chock full of it. Look at this shit. It smells like shit. It's thick. That's a lot of shit. Gonna have to go back to cardboard because this is not gonna be washed out. I'm not washing this out. Oh yeah, it's absolutely chock full of shit. So I mean, I think they must have pulled the shoes out. Wow, the smell is out of this fucking world. Gonna have to go back to cardboard. We're done with that. Yeah, we're going back to cardboard, guys. And that's the thing, I cleaned it last night or the day before. Cleaned it up pretty well. And now it's just full of shit. I can pull the shoes out. And it looks like they did. Whew. Incredible, incredible. Going back to cardboard. smells too much. Fucking hell, this stinks. It smells like burnt dog hair.
Now get an average of 84 FPS with the built-in Cyberpunk 2077 benchmark. And we can get more because, like I mentioned, we can go up to 30 watts on battery. But of course, at those higher TDPs on the Ally, our battery life will suffer. But luckily, this does come packed with a 65-watt PD quick charger. And I've run some tests here. 0 to 100% on the Ally, 1.4 hours. Steam Deck comes with a 45-watt charger, and we're talking about the stock chargers here. 3.3 hours to charge the Steam Deck from 0 to 100%. So obviously, topping that battery off on the Ally will be much quicker. And when it comes to overall battery life, from my testing so far, and I've gone through this twice just to be sure, 15-watt TDP on both of these devices. On the Steam Deck, we get 103 minutes. On the Ally, 96 minutes. so they're not that far off from each other. But if you're the kind of person who doesn't play AAA games at 15 watts, takes it on down on the Steam Deck, you can get much better battery life and performance out of the Steam Deck due to its power management system that Valve and AMD have come up with. When I'm playing AAA games on the Steam Deck, I want to get the best performance, so I'm usually always maxed out at 15 watts. Another thing you got to keep in mind is the Steam Deck has been on the market for a year. Valve has had a lot of time to update drivers, optimize voltages, and everything like that, and I'm sure we'll see some pretty good improvements with battery life on the ROG Ally as it goes on, but I'm actually making this before it's officially available to the public. It launches June 13th, and you can pre-order it right now if you're interested. But I gotta say, if you've already got a Steam Deck, you've been using it for a little while, you're happy with the performance, you've gotten used to how it feels, you love the built-in trackpads, keep the Steam Deck. Keep using it. Valve is still gonna optimize drivers down the road for the Steam Deck. And of course, if they ever release a number 2, it's probably gonna be more powerful than the ROG Ally. But if I was in the market right now for a handheld and it was a toss-up between the Ally and the Steam Deck, I would go with the Ally, just because I know it's got newer architecture on the CPU and GPU. Plus, we've got an absolutely beautiful 120 Hz display. And when it comes to emulation, it's second to none right now. That Z1 Extreme handles emulation like a boss. If you've got a Steam Deck, you're happy with it, keep it. If you're in the market, I would go ahead and look into getting something a little newer like the ROG Ally. If you're interested in picking up either one of these, I will leave some links in the description. And if you've got any questions, let me know down below. But that's it for this one. And like always, thanks for watching.
I'll be honest, on the outset, no, it's a lie.
Who called you a lie?
Oh, I never found it.
Well, Laura's a
free parking. Marble Street is one. Very well. You can see the side. Parking is free.
happened at the end of Voyager 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I thought that was great. Problem solved. Now, whether they just came up with it, like, oh, we don't have the budget to get all these, Borg.
Well, I think that's part of it too. I think that they didn't, the stuff that was shot, they have not been keeping. They haven't been keeping the sets, and I think that was a great choice. And also, canonically, it kind of fits. I mean, and it's also horrifying. It's horrifying. What's unfortunate is I feel that one of the things that people aren't talking about is the poor, the real poor, not the Alison Pill poor, the actual Borg Queen who probably she never asked to have this title bestowed upon her. She was probably. Maybe she was a construct that was built by whatever the Borg is as the face of something. Like, all she was doing her job, watch your future's end, like in First Contact. She never wanted any of this, not really. And here she gets infected by this disease, and her whole race gets brought down. And this is her last, by the way, she hooked up with another bad bitch in Vatic, another alien from a different part of her end of the galaxy, essentially, who also was victimized by the Federation to create essentially another biological or disease. I mean, the Federation, Picard chose in Iborg in the 5th season not to use a genocidal disease to send Hugh back to the Borg and infect them. In Voyager, they kind of did do that. Vatic was also infected. She was experimented on so they could create this weaponized disease to kill the changelings in Deep Space Nine. So these two women were bonded by the abuse that they had suffered by, and a lot of people, maybe I'm stretching a bit, but it's definitely there. I mean, if you want to look at it, you have these two strong women characters that are adversaries, certainly, but that's why they were bonded, and basically the same thing was done to the two of them.
The Federation's really not a nice organization.
Well, actually, it's because they incited the problem. The Federation is doing their own thing. It was basically like the F around and find out scenario for the changelings and the Borg, and they found out, and those two unified together to try and pull the reversal. And it backfired, because one of the things that is interesting with, and a parallel between the Borg and the changelings, is that the changelings are one drop in a pool. Like, they're all connected and they're linked. Yep. It's actually part of their thing, and that's what the Borg is trying to recreate, is a link of sorts. And they do so at the sacrifice of individuality, even though they're having all those minds cooperate for a common goal. But it's not necessarily a real cooperation. It's servitude. The individual consciousness have no hope for that. My second criticism of Picard, it's one I can ignore, but it is essentially saying that if Picard never had Jack as a son, they would never have this plot. They would never exist. And you could potentially, headcanon say, well, maybe they planned that initially as a what-if scenario, or if any of their drones got removed from the collective and restored to their original species, we would have this drone.
sunny out here. Yeah, we're gonna not use those insoles anymore. It's full of shit. Oh, fuck. Wow, burping pretty bad. Enough for COVID. My dog is itching pretty bad. It's from the pants. Where's the other rack? Yeah, burping pretty bad. My phone hurts. Yeah, these runs were out here all night long. Police showed up. They were running around, yelling and stuff. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna get some cardboard for the shoes because I don't have that insoles in. 14 degrees. I don't know if we're going to see 14 degrees, but maybe. So it's warming up a lot. I was doing pretty good. Well, iced tea was poisoned a little bit. It had some nasty stuff in it. But I wanted to drink it. So this thing, 31%, motherfucker, this thing is dropping like a rock. It was 44 when I got up. It was 44 when I got up, not anymore. So they had brush my hair. It's falling. My hair is falling out really, really bad. It's a lot of hair to lose in a day. And I keep finding myself if I'm greasing my hair. I don't know how long I was sitting there, maybe 2 hours. But it's a beautiful day in paradise, seeing as that the winter storm has disappeared. Started this new app off script. Found some interesting stuff. AAS service, whatever the hell that is, seems to be causing a problem. There's a Google cell phone cell broadcast service, seems to be causing a problem. Restarts the fucking phone actually. And we found some more stuff. You know, we found 3 more apps that seem to be causing a problem. CF Auto Touch or some shit like that? Maybe, I don't know. But there seems to be certain packages. I went in there and started messing around with that and trying to delete directories as well. Seems to have fixed some stuff, deleting directories. We'll see. I mean, I've got to debug more stuff and get more directories. it doesn't really work. I mean, you can start deleting everything from the root directory, but it doesn't actually work. You got to specify. You got to specify what you want to delete. And it seems to be working. It seems to be working. Deleting directories. Yeah, it's a beautiful day today in paradise. Yeah, both our neighbors in all our neighbors in Romania were Queen Elizabeth on both sides of the house and across the street. We were surrounded by Queen Elizabeth. There was an old couple that was across the street, and it was Churchill and Queen Elizabeth. They're like fucking identical. Actually, yeah. They died, the couple across the street from us, they died. But it was Churchill, big tall Churchill, and Queen Elizabeth. We had another Queen Elizabeth on both sides of the house. That were the neighbors. And yeah, I mean, over there we were pretty much surrounded by Queen Elizabeth and Churchill. You know, now that I look back at it, I look back at why we left. It wasn't necessarily a money situation. It was more of a people situation. Like I said, in these areas, Russia included, in these areas that become obsessed with the eradication of white people, it becomes a permanent mindset. And America's in the same spot today. And it wasn't necessarily because we didn't have money or we didn't have, it wasn't, it's just the people, like I said, these people, they after a while, it becomes like a permanent anti-white mindset. And it becomes, you move. I mean, this is happening across America. They call it white flight. In America, they call it white flight. It's been happening for 50 years. And that's what happened to us in Romania. You have white flight over there as well, but at a slower pace, obviously, because people don't have money. And in America, it's happening faster because people have more money, so they can move. And like I said, in these areas, even Eastern Europe that doesn't have any immigration, Central Eastern Europe that doesn't have much immigration. Even over there, it becomes a permanent mindset. An anti-white mindset. And people just move, they just leave. Like in America, they just move. They move all over the fucking place, from one state to another, for 50 years. For 50 years off and on, the southern parts of America are losing white people, at a faster and faster rate. Understand? And this framing gig is why. It's, let me put you in my collection. I like to put stuff in my collection. People, they just, after a while, they just, like in America, they just move. People move out of London. Right? But over the last 50 years, a lot of white people left London, especially with this COVID stuff that happened. COVID was a way to clean out. COVID was a way to clean out white people. Understand anybody that would have been left over. Obviously, there's less white people living in London now than before COVID. Like I said, this COVID stuff was obviously very damaging for anybody that wasn't on the inside. Understand? It's very damaging for anybody that isn't on the inside of this clique, this diversity league clique. Anybody that's on the outside automatically loses. And that's what happened with COVID. That's the reason why they did COVID. gradually, obviously, like I said, there's less life going on than before COVID. Well, like I said, and it's the reason why it's going to become obvious. Eventually, it's going to become obvious. You wait 20 years, wait 50 years, and anybody that's part of this diversity clique will be Asian or black, or brown, Mexican, whatever. It's a trend. And by the time that happens, they would have proved me right anyway. By the time that happens, they would have proved me right anyway. It doesn't matter that I'm finding them out right now and they're Asian, or they got to secret Asian man. It doesn't matter that I'm finding them out right now. In 50 years' time, they're all going to be Asian or black anyway. It doesn't matter if you make them black now or if you make them Asian now, and they're hella white, allegedly. In 50 years, you're going to get there anyway. I mean, it's a trend, like I said. It just keeps on going. It keeps on marching. Obviously, a problem within the 5 Obviously, a problem with management, who your leadership is. That's why it keeps, marching. It keeps happening. It keeps on trending. And like I said, eventually it doesn't matter if I'm making them Asian in the gifts now or if I'm making them black. They're going to be that anyway in 50 years. I'll lay it out and you'll see what I'm talking about. Got a beautiful day in paradise today. It's beautiful in paradise. Man, I was picking my eyes out last night because I had shit in my eyes. I don't know what the fuck, they put stuff in my eyes. It's like dirt, grime. So tell me what. Somebody down there doing something good for the people. Doing something good for the people here. You need to realize that the Russian revolutionaries said something. They were on and on about bourgeois class, and today they are the bourgeois class. You fucking idiots. Understand? I told you before, communism is a system of stealing. Just like you stole the bag, just like stealing the bag, yeah? You were denied access to property and money because you stole the bag, which is what communism is. Understand? The Russian revolutionaries, Trotsky and all the rest of them, said that they were fighting the bourgeois class. And now they are the bourgeois class, you fucking imbeciles. Understand? And, lo and behold, none of them are white. Yeah, they're Chris Hemsworth, the Chris Evans, who are Asian. You find Russian people in this. Obviously, our Kang over here is obviously related to Putin. On and on and on. That's what they said initially, right? Oh, we're in here, we're fighting the bourgeois class because they're so oppressively rich and stuff. And now they are the bourgeois class. The same people that did the Russian Revolution. I mean, isn't that funny? It's kind of funny, isn't it? Because it's true. Because it's true. That's why. And there's not a single white millionaire or billionaire in all of America. Second biggest country in the fucking world, largest economy in the world, in America, being America, and there's not a single white millionaire or billionaire in the entire fucking country. Yeah. The Russian revolutionary became the bourgeois class. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How are you, my friend? You okay? Good. You hungry?
Yeah.
Good.
Can I get a jam sandwich and
Of course you can. I'll just get the lady section. One second.
That's good. Let's put it on top of that, yeah.
Do you want some sauce with that?
Sauce? What kind of sauce?
It's a date and tamarind sauce to go with
I don't know what that is. Yeah, go ahead. Spread it out.
Sweet, sour, and a little.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'll just stick it in there. Stick it in there.
Do you want me to do you a separate bag for your mate? Yeah?
Very nice, very nice. Can I get a drink, please?
Comanda się specjalek, ja. Really good.
Okay, like that. Oh, really? Good. And they're not happy with you, yeah?
Because we're going back around.
Didn't have any.
Then you speak to this man here. Brother.
Where's your friend today?
I'm another one, man. As long as you promise the man that needs them. Get me, bro. Please help the homeless with some loose change in the yellow bucket. That'd be very kind. Help the homeless community. Please donate some money. Don't just walk away, guys. I'm trying to help out here. You can do this every month. It'd be so kind. Thank you so much.
What is that?
You can give some money as you walk by. That'd be very helpful. They help
Very
the
good,
homeless
yes.
community.
Chicken?
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt?
Hi, Matt.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Donation box, please, guys. We're helping the homeless community here today. So we can continue to work like this. Please help out. Thank you so much. If we can put some money in the box, young man, I'll be so proud of you. We're helping the homeless. Thank you, guys. God bless you. He's the best curry in London. Go, mate. Yo, Paddy, have some curry. Have some curry with us. No? Okay. Thank you. Paddy. If we could help out in the yellow bucket at the front, please. We're helping the homeless community here today. If you donate, continue to work like this regularly. Thank you so much. You can donate some money in the yellow bucket. Please help out with the yellow box at the front. We're helping the homeless community here today. If you can be so kind and give some donations, that'd be wonderful. Thank you. We can continue to do work like this every month if we get your help. We can donate some money. Don't just walk by, please. Thank you so much, guys. Please donate some money as you're walking by. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Please give it a try. Put some money inside that yellow bucket. Don't be shy. Give it a try. We're helping the homeless community. Don't find me bucket. Come on, please. Don't be shy. Go to the side now. You must be so happy.
Wait, that's a free
Come on,
food.
come on, free food coming out the homeless.
Also, not a free food.
Just one. Up next. We'll get it down. Next week,
Please put some money in the yellow bucket at the front while you're walking by and helping the homeless community, yeah? That'd be very kind of you. If you could donate a little bit of small change for the homeless community, that'd be so helpful. Thank you so much. Help the homeless here, young man. All the people. And can we raise some money for the homeless community, please? While you're walking by, small change for the homeless, please. The yellow bucket. Helping the homeless. Please, this is my daughter. She makes a lot of sense. Help the homeless community. Please put the yellow bucket up.
Yeah, but that's why. It's like we said earlier, that's where the taste comes from. You've got to kill a combination of like fat and sugar. That's why the taste
Please help out the homeless community with some change. Small bit of change, give me some curry, we have some hot pierogies. Thank you very much for coming back, little man. Look at you, you've got a big heart, you have. Thank you very much. Come and try some money, guys.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
in my car, yeah.
Excellent, thanks.
Do you want a donut?
Yeah.
Shall I put it in there?
I got it.
You got it? Good.
Please help the homeless here today. Please pick up the yellow bucket as you're walking by. We're helping the homeless community here today. Your support will help us continue on this work.
Wow.